Hi guys, today we're going to talk about weapon rolls and what you should be looking for in a crucible weapon. For the most part I'm going to be sticking to primaries with some talk of secondaries as well, but just with shotguns and snipers. Fusion rifles, there's only two you should be using possibly. It's a Plan C or a Saladin's Vigil with increased range perks. And then sidearms are just kind of useless in a competitive mindset. They can be fun to use, especially the Trespasser, but if you want to be competitive in Destiny, I would stay away from that. But let's get right into the video. In the background, you'll be seeing a gameplay from Trials 2 weekends ago when Burning Shrine was the map. This was the first card of the day, and we went up against Wish You Luck and Slade on the final game. I played well. I made a couple mistakes, but I hope you enjoy watching that in the background for the gameplay. And let's get right into talking about weapons. Let's start with pulse rifles because that is my gun. I love pulse rifles. What do you want for pulse rifles? Lower damage archetypes are the best. Grasp archetype, and then you want a PDX or a Hawksaw archetype. Anything higher, for 99 times out of 10, will kill in 3 bursts as well, but they'll just do it slower than the other two archetypes, so I would stay away from them if you want to be competitive. What are you looking for? Increased stability on all fronts. Ideally, you want that to come without removing any range, because you don't want less range on any gun, really. More range is always better, but stability is key. Good scope, good stability, possibly a reload perk if you use something like Brace Frame, and you are good to go on those weapons. If you want to know, in my opinion, the god roll on a grasp, I have another video you can look at, which is my Grasp of Mallet gameplay and overview. I have in my mind the god roll for that gun, and if you're looking for that weapon or a clever dragon which can have a very similar roll, take a look at that one to find out. Hand cannons. Hand cannons range is important. They get ghost bullets. Those are annoying. I don't use hand cannons because of it, because I don't want a gunfight to come down to my RNG sucks and his was better. So I stay away from hand cannons, but range is key there. You also want to stick to the mid to high impact hand cannons, which is the IS Luna, W No, Lord High Fixer, her Revenge, I believe, is the old Varix hand cannon. Palindrome is a very good option. The Vendor Palindrome right now is fantastic with rifled barrel, which in my mind is the best range perk for a hand cannon, better than reinforced because you don't lose the stability. But for hand cannons, you get that range perk, which in my mind is rifled or nothing, and everything else is just whatever. You can improve it with things like rangefinder, hidden hand, outlaw, luck in the chamber. I honestly, spray and play is even not too bad, but those kind of perks you can improve a hand cannon, but its key is the range. That's what you want. Auto rifles. Use a Doctrine or don't use an auto rifle. That's my opinion. The slightly higher impacts like the Monte Carlo, the Extremophile, those ones can sort of be fun at times, but against a good pulse rifle, a good hand cannon, even a good scout at times, they just don't do anything. Doctrine still melts at very close range. Pair it with either a sniper rifle or with a shotgun if you're incredibly aggressive. I've seen that work as well. But overall, I would stay away from auto rifles right now until they buff them. But if you must use one, stick to the Doctrine, and stick to the Doctrine with counterbalance. That is the most important perk on that gun. Scout rifles. Scout rifles are always going to be in a weird place. They're more of a PvE kind of weapon than a PvP. Very high impacts, can 3-shot and potentially have the highest optimal time to kill in the game, right next to the grass at 0.83, I believe it is. But it requires 3 headshots, and it can be difficult to do. But if you want to use one of them, stability. Stability is what you want. Damage helps and everything, but I don't think there's a time where, unless someone's like very low armor, that you can get a perk that would make it a 2-shot kill in PvP currently. I believe reactive reload only works against low armor players. If you can still get that, I know you can still get crowd control, which doesn't do a ton, so I stay away from those ones, but I've seen them used successfully. Mostly, if you want to use a scout rifle, stick to a Mida. It takes 4 shots to kill, 2 headshots, 2 bodies. It shoots quicker than the higher impact archetype above it, like the Hung Jury, which no matter what takes 1 second to kill and 4 shots. So if you want to use a scout rifle, stick to a Mida. It's still your best option. Alright, now that we've talked about the primaries, let us move on to secondaries. Shotguns are the meta right now. In my opinion, it's not that snipers are bad, it's just they are difficult to use well. And a lot of people can't seem to do that these days, so unless you're a competent sniper, I would use a shotgun in my personal opinion. But if you're looking for a sniper, you want the higher impact tiers. Longbow archetype or Devil's Dawn archetype. Either one works. Longbow archetype can no longer one-shot supers if they have above a 7 armor rating in their stats, which is unfortunate, but that's how it is. And honestly, I agree with that change by Bungie. It incentivized higher impact snipers, which were basically reintroduced of Rise of Iron with the Devil's Dawn, the Ex Machina from the Raid, Event Horizon from the Crucible vendor, those types of guns. Perk-wise, again, you want a good scope, which in my mind is a short gaze. A long view 10 can work as well, or work too, but I prefer short gaze. And a good middle perk, quick draw or snapshot. Now these are for the typical rolled weapons that have scopes, have middle perks, whatever. Those are what you want. Perks like Hidden Hand can help increase aim assist and everything else. Spray and play is not bad. Fire play is okay. Life support's not bad. In my mind, just unflinching just doesn't do anything. It's not really worth having. Eye of the Storm, supposedly it helps with aim assist when you're low armor or low health. I have a few with those kind of perks on them. I don't notice a ton, but it could be true. I'm not going to debate that right now. But honestly, scope and middle perk is what you want in a sniper. But I should make a note. If you have the Trial Sniper Rifle, that is the sniper you should be using. Because it has a linear compensator on it instead of a scope, it can have slightly higher impact than a longbow or a 1,000-yard stair can, which makes it so even max armor players can be one-shot in their supers. That is hugely important, especially in game modes like Trials. So if you want a sniper, use that. Use linear compensator, injection mold, snapshot, and life support. Use that setup, and in my mind, that's the best sniper you have in the game. Shotguns. Similar to hand cannons, range is key. Rifled or reinforced barrel. They also suffer from ghost bullets, which is unfortunate, so they're not the most reliable guns ever, but either rifled or reinforced barrel improves greatly. The shotguns you want, Party Crasher or Matador. Those are your only options right now. Because both of them can hit the range cap while still using aggressive ballistics, which improves the gun even more than it already can be improved, which is fantastic. Conspiracy Theory D, can't get that. It needs smooth ballistics to hit the range cap. So in my mind, unless you don't have a better shotgun, don't use that. Use a Party Crasher or a Matador. Perk-wise, Rifle to Reinforced, Aggressive Ballistics, Rangefinder, Crowd Control, Final Round, Spray and Play, Performance Bonus, Cascade, all good options. The only perk I would stay away from is Full Auto. If you watched a recent video by Fallout Plays on YouTube, he actually went into this in depth, and it shows that Full Auto actually lowers your efficiency with a shotgun and your ability to one-shot at longer ranges. So in my mind, that's a perk you should stay away from. Anything that makes it a little less reliable at longer ranges is a perk you should not use. So as long as you got rifled or reinforced, aggressive ballistics, accurized and field choke can work well, but aggressive is the best. And then anything but full auto, with the best perks probably being crowd control or rangefinder, because they do the same thing, increased range or increased damage because of increased range. Crowd control does more, but you need to kill a person first, while rangefinder just does it no matter what. I personally think I would like crowd control more because it has a very significant difference, but rangefinder is also very good. Alright guys, we're getting to the end of the gameplay, and that's getting to the end of the video. Those are my thoughts on weapon rolls you should be looking for. If you have any more questions, I do have a Twitch channel. I'm sure most of you have already been there and seen me play. If you have more questions, either ask in the comments or come to my Twitch. I do trials carries every weekend, and ask them there. Hopefully I'll see you then, guys, but thanks for listening, and I will talk to you next time.